Won today the All-Star Mile. Pick 7, 16 people win your way into this terrific race, the All-Star Mile. And finally, the day is here, the richest mile race in the world with $5 million up for grabs. And a horse who's certainly on the tip of behind him. The whole of New Zealand are behind this star mare in Melody Bell.
Oh, she's a terrific talent, and she's one that really usually improves a lot with a run under the belt. So she's second up. She was, I thought, good against the pattern behind Streets of Avalon.
Regal Power.
Well, look, there's not much in it. You've already mentioned that. On the backup, yes, I'd like him back to the mile on the backup. Drawn to get a nice soft run. If he can stay in touch, we know he's got a great finish, and he should be rock hard. Third up, ready to peak, and perhaps Strawn where he is a suitable assignment for Mark Zahra, can probably build into
Bell. Selection, Richo, just holding that price. In fact, Alligator Blood is holding its price as well, and our percentages have stayed around the same. So about 55% of our win pool on Alligator Blood, and Melody Bell clearly second best back runner at $4.40. The others are sort of not much difference, 11, 12.
They're ready. Gates are back and racing. Star Missile stood there and missed it 2 or 3 lengths. Mr. Quickie going back with it, with also Superstorm. Heart of Puissance jumped away quite well with Melody Bell. Alligator Blood's right up there early with Streets of Avalon, and from the deep is Flit. They were followed by Regal Power. Heart of Puissance settles about 6th from Blackheart Bart Colding. 2 for the backers, Fierce Impact, and then came Sosie Bond, Mr. Quickie, a length and a quarter away. Dalasan 2/3 down the field and beyond, followed by Aristius. Superstorm second last, and Star Missile last with Great Toe. Flit wants it over and done with at the 1,000 metres to the side, kicked away about 4 lengths. Streets of Avalon. It's a solidly run All-Star Mile. 2 lengths away, Alligator Blood in third. A length Regal Power, followed by Melody Bell tucked away. A length and a quarter, Blackheart Bart from Colding. Fierce Impact 2 lengths, Heart of Puissance, Sosie Bond. Then Dalasan, Mr. Quickie shuffled back from Aristius. Superstorm. Star Missile is last at the 600 metres. It's the filly Flit 5 lengths in front. Alligator Blood second the outside, giving chase now from Streets of Avalon. Next is Regal Power, who is tracking the Alligator. Then came Melody Bell, Blackheart Bart, Fierce Impact to the outside from Colding. And next in the field, Sosie Bon and Dalasan. Flit comes back to them. Alligator Blood on the outside takes the lead, but Regal Power's there. Then Fierce Impact and Melody Bell taking the lead. Regal Power from Alligator Blood. Fierce Impact, Superstorm right down the outside. Regal Power in front. Superstorm's flying, but it's Regal Power. Regal Power 3/4 of a length to Superstorm. Grant and Alana Williams with an All-Star Quinella. Photo third. Melody Bell prominent with Dalasan or Fierce Impact. Then Sosie Bond, Streets of Avalon. Further back in the field, Colding, Alligator Blood. Next to finish, Dalasan, Mr. Quickie, Aristius, Star Missile, Flit, and Heart of Puissance was at the end.
Extraordinary moment for WA Racing and for Bob Peters and Grant and Alana Williams. They Quinella the All-Star Mile, and Willie Pike, he couldn't decide between Regal Power and Superstorm. He flipped the coin on Monday and said, I'll ride Regal Power. Superstorm flashes late for Mark Zahra to run second in an unbelievable All-Star Mile. Well, Flit got going from a wide barrier, put all the...
as well for Willie Pike, Corey. He was critical of himself last week. Gee, he would have had a tough decision as well, but what a peach of a ride he gave us.
He made amends today. Like, that was an absolute 10 out of 10. Not a bad way to ride your first winner in Melbourne, is it?
Sure isn't. Let's hear for the man of the moment.
Well, Pikey, what a way to do it. First winner in town. I know the atmosphere's not here, but let's create our own.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm thrilled. Look, I even gave a salute, but it was for me. I was very happy. This horse, he's been so good to me. I wasn't at my best last start, so there's some way to atoning for that.
Some training when Flit took to the front and really strung him along.
That's right. I was waiting for that mid-race steady, which pretty much I've found in nearly every race I've ridden here so far, but it just didn't come. Always going to be good pressure early, I thought. I was worried about a mid-race steady and the blood would steal it with a mid-race steady, but that didn't happen today. It was good pressure. I was at least 1 or 2 spots closer than I thought I'd be. It probably told on me a little bit late, but he was good enough. He just kept hanging in there.
Yeah, there's 5 people waiting for you over there in the crowd. Go and give him another salute, mate. Well done.
Yeah, cheers.
Alana Williams, well done to Tegan, the owner ambassador, who wins a huge prize money. Grant, behind those sunnies, my friend, I think there's a bit of emotion going on. Great achievement.
You know, I went super. This is just tongue-in-cheek, but took Willie Pike 3 weeks to come and ride with the boys, with the A team, as I heard on the radio, and there you go, he's got it.
He's done a really good job, hasn't he, mate? You've Quinelled the race. It's beyond your wildest dreams.
I didn't even see the other one, so I'll have to go back and watch the replay.
It was storming down the outside.
No, look, we're a really good team. The team at home, all the team at Yarralborough, Willie, Jess, Holly's done a super job over here. To all the guys at Cloud 9, that's unbelievable. Taking this in like family, it's been great.
And Bob's just shown so much faith in you and Alana to give you these quality horses.
It's taken a while. No, he's been super to us. There's nowhere we couldn't be where we are without him, you know. So it's just great that he's given us this opportunity, and there you go.
When did this race come onto your radar?
I thought the decision they made was the right one. It was a conservative one, but better to be safe than sorry. You know, I know the government advice around events beyond 500 people doesn't come in until Monday, but you know, I think the risk is just as severe as it was on Friday. So I think, you know, Peter Legrand and the committee at the Melbourne Racing Club did the right thing by not allowing patrons to go to the races yesterday. It was disappointing for some of the, you know, the owners and connections of horses that would have loved to have been there to watch their chargers compete. But, you know, I think in these times you've got to take a really conservative approach.
It looks more like the
reality is now that we're going to be having a lot more race meetings without spectators for the next weeks and maybe months.
Grace Ramage, you were on the line, and let's just break down the performance here of Regal Power. And Willie Pike was able to find the back of Alligator Blood and put it in just a perfect position.
Well, he was, and this was one of the races where they actually did roll along at a pretty good speed, actually. And, you know, Flit obviously got fired up. I didn't see if he gave it a dig or not, but she just overdid it significantly, and I think anything on the speed was going to find it tough to win. But from that point of view, the winner was good. It was settled in 4th position. Lovely ride from Willie Pike. A couple of good runs in the race, but for a race, Corey, that I thought was going to be slowly run, it was turned on its head when Flit jumped and wanted to go.
Flit with the blinkers on really sent him along. Willie Pike, he is a great ride in saying when Alligator Blood popped off, the horse was back in front of him, he ended up just sitting right up his backside and just let Alligator Blood take him well into the race, and he would have been laughing to himself having Opie Bosson on Melody Bell to his inside, controlling where he was going. He had his sort of destiny in his hands. So it's a really, really smart ride, and again, give it a peach for his first win in Melbourne.
Yeah, up to the 800, they were 5 lengths inside of standard according to daily sectionals. But let's hear the call from Matt Hill as we see the concluding stages.
Flit comes back to them. Alligator Blood on the outside takes the lead, but Regal Power's there. Then Fierce Impact and Melody Bell taking the lead. Regal Power from Alligator Blood. Fierce Impact, Superstorm right down the outside. Regal Power in front. Superstorm's flying, but it's Regal Power. Regal Power 3/4
For a day with no crowd, there was still a bit of cheering happening in the straight there. That was Grace.
I don't know how much of that was me, but I was certainly screaming home Melody Bell. You can probably hear Go Valerie in the audio there. But look, there was a good atmosphere for that race because of the fact that it is such a rich race, and there were the trainers and the strappers that were getting excited, as well as
these great overhead shots we've got access to as well. At the 300-metre mark, if you swap Regal Power and Melody Bell, do we get a different result?
Oh, I think without a doubt, yeah. I think
Pike comes around and just holds him in.
But he was travelling well enough to be able to hold Melody Bell in. I mean,
exactly
he was probably travelling the best. At the 400 metres, there's only one horse you wanted to be on. But unlike last week, it kept finding the line. Maybe it needed that tough run in the Australian Cup to be rock hard fit for yesterday's mile. You know, coming back from 2,000 metres to a mile in a week, it's no easy feat.
No,
but he certainly made use of the barrier 3. You know, he could have easily settled midfield or worse, but he gave it a little bit of a squeeze. I thought he won the race in the first 100 metres when he gave him a bit of a squeeze to make sure that
it was arguably the run of the race.
Yeah.
It was enormous what Superstorm was able to do. Yes, he was able to build momentum when it counted, but
long way back.
He's still so lightly raced, isn't he? There's so much upside. And speaking to Grant Williams afterwards, he was very emotional. It was great to see that perspective and that side of him, but he basically said, Superstorm, in 12 months' time, I've got no doubt he's going to be the best horse in our stable.
Yeah. It was an important coin toss for Willie Pike during the week, wasn't it?
I reckon it was a double header, like Clint said.
Imagine if he had gone the other way.
In yesterday's All-Star Mile.
Jamie Carr, Dallasan.
He's run a really solid race. He just still won't go straight.
Mark Zara, Superstorm.
Yeah, look, he ran an enormous race. He's a big green, raw bloke, and I struggled around the home bend around Caulfield. I wasn't sort of going anywhere. Then once I straightened up and balanced, he flew home. He's a really nice horse.
Opie Boss and Melody Bell.
She ran well. Got bunched up a little bit turning in, but when she got into the clear, she ran home good.
Craig Williams, Fierce Impact.
Really commendable performance. He set a really bad barrier draw, but he's a little bit at sorts today with his attitude and come on and off the bridle, but still ran extremely well.
Hugh Bowman Colding.
He just doesn't appreciate Caulfield. I think we'll see him back in Sydney and see him improve significantly.
Ryan Maloney, Alligator Blood.
Look, he probably looked disappointing, but he just never settled throughout the run, and just when they come to him, he didn't offer anything, which is very unlike him, and just on pulling up, felt a little bit short, and he's off front, he's near front, so hopefully he pulls up all right.
Flit listed as a slow recovery in the steward's report. Grace on Alligator Blood, no abnormalities. Ryan Maloney alluded to perhaps being concerned about his action in the aftermath.
He knew in the run that this wasn't the same horse he's been dealing with his entire racing preparation. He was playing up in the barriers, which is unlike Alligator Blood, and in the run...
Obviously, like you said...
His length's off his best yesterday.
Yeah, length's off his best, but he'll be back, I'm sure, and yeah, it had all good things come to an end, and it was yesterday, unfortunately, for Connections.
Wonderful stories across the board coming out of the race. The Owner-Ambassador initiative is the real winner and story out of the race for mine. Tegan Abercrombie, so 28-year-old single mum from Sunbury. She turned 28 on Friday. She was talking about coming into the race, that even the $10,000 that she might have got if Regal Power was able to just run a reasonable race for her would have been a life changer. 250,000 jumps in. She'll get a house out of this. She's talking about buying a car, hopefully being able to take her 4-year-old son to Disneyland. What a remarkable story.
The look on her face was just absolutely priceless. I mean, one of the parts of this race that I love the most is that part of it. And to see someone win $250,000 clearly needs the money. Yeah. It's going to make a huge difference. The $250,000 to her is, significantly more valuable. And just the look on her face and the excitement post-race was just... It's my highlight of the autumn. I know we'll get to it later on in the show, but that was the absolute highlight.
I just hope no...
Day, and it was taken out by Regal Power. It was the Cerise and White Quinella with Superstorm running second, the famous Bob and Sandra Peters colours. And a terrific reward for Grant and Alana Williams, who have to see some of these good horses leave their stable in the West because they've got such a big stable to look after in Perth. But Bob Peters said, no, you're in charge this time, and what a day it was for them, and Willie Pike as well.
Oh, what a result. They'd be over the moon, Grant and Alana. Like I say, it's very hard. And Melody Bell just got a little bit tight in patches, but a huge result for Perth, that one.
Yeah, Flip was very keen with, wasn't she?
Wasn't she?
Yeah.
That's not in her makeup, is it?
No, I suppose that was aided how those horses finished off, the fact that she was just so keen in the run.
She just bolted. Not her style.
He has. He's got good gate speed, but it generally takes him a little while to find his feet. He's not a dead-set speed horse. He's going to be...
Greg Girell in a second, but I'm going with Kumasi on top due to the fact that he looks as though he's really should be here. He's very athletic looking.
For a winner from Rosehill, and from the on-track side of things, I Love Myself is 310 to 360, 370 to 420 for the Brassel Special Aim. Kumasi is just $5 into $4.80 as the Gator on topper, and then Prague 8.
In front of Kumasi, and Prague races into third, followed then by I Am Swerving Aim, and a Jettis caught 3 wide early. The favourite, I Love Myself, taken back to second last, just in front of Asamu. So it's Postcode, the front runner, staying well off the running rail as well. Leads by a length and a half. Moving up on the outside is Prague, and a head back on the inside is Kumasi, followed by a Jettis out 3 wide on the outside of Aim. Then I Am Swerving. Second last is Asamu, and I Love Myself, the favourite, is taken back to last now. About 4 lengths covering the field, and Postcode a half in front to Prague, a half the outside of Jettis, tucked away on the inside, Kumasi at the 450. Further back to I Am Swerving, he pops off the fence, brushed there with Aim, and the last 2, Asamu and I Love Myself, getting to the outside. Postcode being quickly joined by Prague. Going along the inside is Kumasi. Postcode got squeezed out there. Kumasi and Prague, stride for stride. 3 lengths clear from I Am Swerving and Aim, who's only plodding. Prague got the upper hand at the 100 and starts to draw away now, Prague. Good go for the Miners. Prague goes on to win it from Kumasi. I Am Swerving third, just in front of Aim. Followed by Postcode. I Love Myself, never a factor from Asamu. And a Jettis 3 wide, the troops finish last.
Prague is into the Golden Slipper, so Kieran Maher and David Eustace get another one into the Golden Slipper picture. Prague, the only blot on the copybook, is a 6th in the Skyline. Other than that, 3 pretty good wins. Kamazi, who was defeated last start in the Skyline, bounced back. He's now 3 from 4 and into the Golden Slipper for Kieran Maher and David Eustace.
Yeah, he certainly bounced back big time. You know, he's only made 1 mistake there in 4 starts, and we were wondering whether he'd trained off or maybe it was just a month between runs going into last start trying to get the timing right. And the timing right they've got. He'll be tough and fit, and I can't see this track drying right out for next week, although it's a little bit better, this forecast, when I looked this morning, but there's still 8 mils tomorrow. And maybe a little top up today. So I'm saying we're still going to be working with a rain-affected track come slipper time. He's ticked that box off. He's a really nice horse, this Kumasi. To do what he did, 1,000 metres to 1,200 on the inside, mind you, which end up no good. I know the winner was as well, so there's merit in him. And I think that horse, I Am Swerving, is going to make the grade. Lizzie, he's quite a nice horse.
Yep, I think it's all about the winner, though. He bounced back, like you just mentioned, and I made mention to him in the yard that he seemed like he was a lot more switched on and on his, you know, sort of really keen to get on with it. And they can just have...
Same applies here in the fillies division, with all horses needing to win to get into the slipper. Karkadaka, Dotty D, Gems, Mbella and Only Mine all not nominated for the gold.
That race at Renwick there, off that freshen gate I mentioned, and she sort of half took off after that, beaten by a very good filly in Hungry Heart, so I wouldn't be too savage on the defeat, but we were a little bit dismayed to see the chestnut.
Fillies are set and the gates are back. The Rough and Hybrid Theory blew the start a bit, one of the expected leaders. Karkadaka came out full of running and looking for the lead, being sealed up to try and hold them out. Mbella goes forward together with Dotty D and Only Mine on the fence. Hembrow deeper out, but Karkat found the front. Dubai Star's beaten for a bit of speed and caught deep on the outside of Stella Paulina. Then Timer's Precious back on the fence. They're followed then by Filizzi from Firmosphere as they go up into the first corner. Then came further back to Fallen a Star, Hybrid Theory. Gems has got shuffled right back, and Dismissals last. There's a bit of bunching back in the field. Sonsi goes to midfield as right off the course. Karkadaka got to the front, out by a length on Mbella. Then Hembrow the outside. Dubai Star deep. Sonsi's the widest. Then came Only Mine. Stella Pauline's all strung up. Time is Precious looking for an inside run. 350 out. Karkadaka 2 lengths clear. From Dubai Star going to second. Then Hembrow. Only Mine. Time is Precious running on. Stella Pauline needs a clear run. Thermosphere's winding up and Gems down the outside. Time is Precious ran to the front. Thermosphere goes to it and Gems wide out. But Thermosphere got to the front in the Magic Night. Will she follow in the steps there of Kiyomichi? Well, Thermosphere's off to the slipper from Time is Precious and Gems on the outside for Lizzie closing off. Then Stella Pauline clear at the end from Fallen a Star, Dismissal. Dubai Star, Hybrid Theory, Only Mine. Karkadaka drifted out from Dotty D, Hembrow, Mbella and Sonsi did it tough.
Well, from out of nowhere, Thermosphere is into the Golden Slipper just when it looked like James Cummings was going to go into this year's slipper with none after having 6 and the winner last year. They might be back in business. Can this filly do a Kiyomichi duff?
Could have had 300 to 1 before the race. She's got to be a little bit shorter now, but look, she was the strong
filly to give James Cummings a runner in the big one next week.
Yeah, look, and she's emerged. Look, I think obviously conditions suited her. It's easy to make a good case for her now, and she'd had the tough, heavy track 1,300 win under the belt coming into this race, and that's what come right out on top here. Just a tough seasoned filly. Whether it's slipper form, I don't think so, unless it's raining on the day and we get a similar sort of setup. She's a nice filly. Got good quality. That Time is Precious, so she's got a huge future, I think. Gems, encouraging for probably longer races later on. Stella Pauline left with excuses again, along with Filizzi. They found trouble in the run and climbed heels and got hampered at various stages of that race. And finally, Fallen a Star did something. She's always shown something, and maybe when the races get longer, she could well be on the improve, because that's a much better run from her. But as far as talking Golden Slipper form, well, what the old saying, the answer's a pineapple.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult to take that form and use it going forward. I mean, at least with
Farnan $5, Tagaloa $6, Hanseatic $7, Menage, who isn't in the field, is $9, Dame Giselle at $11. There is the market for the Golden Slipper. Let's get an update on Farnan with Adrian Bott.
Thank you.
OK, we are back here at Rosehill, and this rain hasn't got any heavier, hasn't got any lighter. Duff, just speaking to a few people here, the jockeys said the visibility in the previous was very bad. The track is safe, but the visibility...
I've been a huge fan of Probabeel, and she does parade quite nicely today. She's just a bit more switched on than usual, so I'm going with Funstar on top, purely because I've never been a huge fan of her physically, but she has got definitely physically stronger throughout that this campaign. Just got a bit...
6 starters in the far lap. The red light is on. The heavy 9 here at Rosehill with more rain to follow, and they're off. And Kubrick missed the start by a length or so. Funstar was midfield. Quick Thinker jumped well, so did Trust the Process. Aspect Ratio and Funstar's rolling forward, staying wide from Kubrick, and Probabeel's last of this bunch field. So it's Trust the Process in front early stages, with Funstar rolling up on the outside. James McDonald happy to stay deep of the early stages, and he takes the favourite of the front going to the first turn from Trust the Process, then Aspect Ratio. Quick Thinker back to 4th from Kubrick, and Probabeel will settle last, about 4 or 5 lengths off Kubrick, and Probabeel is 2 lengths away last of all, so they're not going hard in this. And Funstar staying well away from the running rails, leads by 3/4 to Trust the Process, who's taken the bait there by going up the inside. Aspect Ratio being pushed along now from Quick Thinker Kubrick, and Probabeel is still back last, and McAvoy's hard at the filly as they come around the turn. Funstar held together from Trust the Process. Quick Thinker running on. Over on the inside, Probabeel is really being revved up, and she's running on OK. It's Funstar at the 250, a length and a half clear from Probabeel, and Quick Thinker's running on. Funstar in front, a half length on Probabeel. She's really in for the fight. Funstar a neck in front. She's responding, Funstar, and actually came away again the last bit. Funstar turns the result around on Probabeel, with Quick Thinker 3rd, and 10 lengths away to Aspect Ratio, Kubrick, and Trust the Process.
Funstar wins the far lap and turns the tables on Probabeel. 4 clashes now, and every one of them have been great races. Funstar leads 3-1 now. Quick Thinker's run a bottler today. Has used this far lap stakes with his female gallopers, and she's a beauty, Duff and Lizzie.
She is. She's one classy filly. Disappointed she didn't run the Coolmore. She would have won that as well, but they know what they're doing. It's she's got targets, and this was one of them. This had to be one along the way. I couldn't be more in praise of Probabeel in this race. Her wheels were spinning before the turn. She was in pain very, very early, and to pick herself up and still look a chance there with 100 metres to go, I thought her performance was absolutely outstanding. So I'm saying there's still not much between these two fillies, even though Probabeel's had a busier schedule, and you'd think there'd be more upside with Funstar, but geez, the way that filly run yesterday, Probabeel, yeah, she is absolutely airborne. Quick Thinker was okay, but just outclassed by 2 very, very nice fillies.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. I've never been...
We'll get to the Oaks after that, and there'll be newcomers into the fray, like Jennifer Eccles, who took the New Zealand Oaks yesterday.
Hasn't she got a turn of speed on her? When she lets rip, she lets go and puts them away. It's always a good sign of a good filly when you've got a turn of speed like this. We always underrate these fillies. And look, maybe 2000 suits her better, the way she... I know she put them away here, but she'd had enough at the finish. But she looks a beautiful 2,000 metre filly. Our problem is with these new restrictions put in New Zealand now, I know it's not the horses, but the people, it makes it tough. So we'll stay tuned.
It would have to be the people. I mean, the people can come, but they have to then self-quarantine, so there's no hopping backwards.
The Oaks market, Funstar $4.50, Jennifer Eccles into $6 now, sitting there with Probabeel.
On Funstar, another rematch between it and Probabeel. Funstar gets the result in a race that not traditional for the fillies perhaps to target the far lap, but they had the stranglehold on the race, and these two simply cleared out, and she Flight Stakes winner, but it feels like Chris Waller could just about point her at whatever he wants over the coming weeks.
Well, she's improved the run under the belt, but her ability to get through the conditions probably helped. I thought Probably was fantastic. He had to make a long run and probably just felt the pinch at about this point in the race with 100 to go. And but a confident ride, lovely ride on the winner as well, wasn't it, Corey? He sort of knew that he was travelling well in the conditions.
You could just see that, watching that replay, the way Funstar got through the going, like the other horses were dipping and diving, and she never put a foot wrong. From the top of the straight, she never put a foot wrong. She never blundered at all.
OK, rain continuing to fall once again. No heavier, no lighter. It's just been a constant all the way through since it started raining, and the jockeys have met with the stewards and they're happy to go around yet again for...
Gates are back, they're off. Nobu missed the start. Night's Watch was tardy out. Vega Days and Quacker Jack have clearly won the start from Almeida, quickly up on the speed. Then came Imaging out wide around Yulong Prince, I Am Superman, Cascadian, Nobu, and a gap back in the field to Ring a Ding Ding and Night's Watch. Vega Days leads at the 1,200 metres from Quacker Jack, and the French import Almeida travelling a bit keen there, but restrained back into third by Michael Walker, and it relaxes a bit better now. Imaging got across to be fourth, two further back, 7 off the lead. It's Vega Days in front from Quacker Jack. The two sparring partners at it again, a length clear from Almeida. Then came Imaging, further back to I Am Superman, Cascade, and Yulong Prince, 3 wide the trip from Night's Watch, Nobu. Ring a Ding Ding still the last one, 600 metres to run. John Van Overmeer sits quietly on Vega Days from Quacker Jack. McDonald pulls out on Imaging. Almeida's going through a rails run now and getting it, really cut the corner there. I Am Superman gets right up to its back. Then came Cascadian as they straighten up Night's Watch right to the outside. Almeida, the inside of Vega Days, but wide out. Imaging's the one putting in big strides, and Imaging went to the front from Quacker Jack. Then Yulong Prince. Cascadian's in a bumping match with Yulong Prince. He's in a pocket. You can't make this up. Imaging in front from Yulong Prince. Cascadian cleared too late. Imaging in front from Yulong Prince. Imaging kept going. Imaging won it from Yulong Prince. Cascadian, more bother today in third. Then Quacker Jack, followed by Night's Watch, Vega Days. I Am Superman. Further back to Almeida, who dropped out. Ring a Ding Ding, and Nobu was last in.
Well, you get knocked down, you get back up again. That's the moral of the story. He was in a real bumping match with Cascadian last start. He got poleaxed, he got turned sideways, and he pulled up lame, but he's bounced back 2 weeks later on a very, very heavy track. And Imaging the import has beaten Yulong Prince and Cascadian back in third spot.
Yeah, they said he was a good horse and they backed him off the map in the Liverpool City Cup. He didn't know what hit him. That's a big day for McDonald. What's that? 4 out of 6 races here today. I don't know.
Imaging, who debuted a couple of weeks ago, was a huge talking point, a big tip, heavily backed, but of course he now famously got in that huge bumping match with Cascadian and got turned sideways. Well, what a way to bounce back. And surely Lizzie and Duff, there must be a question mark if a horse can bounce back quickly from suffering that type of interference, which this horse did.
Yeah, look, he bounced back though. He might have toughened him up. He's obviously a real quality horse, this. I know we can get carried away with wet form again, and he did have wet form, but this is a live Doncaster Mile chance, this horse. Believe me, he's only got 52 kilos. If Bossy's game, it's what's his style of horse, he'll be on the phone, I'll ride that horse. He usually hand-picks one of these lightweights. They might have long memories, though, when he rode the other horse and
I was going to say, I don't know whether they will sort of forget that bit of a bumping duel, considering he pulled up a bit sore after the race. But yes, he certainly would be a very suitable horse in a Doncaster, and that lightweight would help him, his chances immensely.
Love that second horse, Yulong Prince. I don't know whether he's top level, but there's a beautiful 2,000 metre race for him just off the top. I reckon he's ready.
Thing earlier in her career, but she does prefer dry.
Yeah, look, she's looks well, but obviously, as Ronnie said, she is probably not as well performed on these types of tracks, but her looks are great.
Fiesta, Jai McNeil, Chris Waller.
Just that stat. That's that stat. 5 for 5 on the wet, 4 for 4 soft, 1 for 1 the heavy, and she's beautiful. She's a nice mare.
Yeah, it turned out in her best possible condition.
Obviously, going to 2,000 today is a little bit extra journey now with this wet track, but look, if he does get
very similar similar to the tab trade there. Sylvia's Mother, $5.50 to $6.50, just back into $6. And then Eldorado Dreaming, 16 into 15. And money at odds for Acting, 21 into 18. Delectation Girl, 20 into 18, 19 into 17 for Ocean X. But they are treading pretty carefully here, Brass.
Yeah, understandable. To win this
21, but Pahuta Kawa, $4.40 favourite here for the Coolmore, and Greg scratching in the last there, the bottom one designated.
And they're off and racing. Good start here. Sweet Scandal actually jumped well. Invincible Gem moves up on her outside, and Invincible Gem's looking for the lead. Contapatiro's poking through, and there's the filly Acting quickly on the scene, as it's Invincible Gem just in front from Acting, Contapatiro, and Spanish Whispers holding the fence. Then came Delectation Girl. Benetoit goes through on the rails. Sweet Scandal drifts back a bit, and Sylvia's Mother's in that clump as well. They're followed then by Fiesta on the outside of Pahuta Kawa. Dawn gets back a bit, followed by Noir, Eldorado Dreaming. Then came Miss Fabulous, and Ocean X not far away last of all. It's a tightly bunched field, and Acting goes to the front now from Invincible Gem. Contapatiro took the sit with Spanish Whisper, followed then by Delectation Girl. Sylvia's Mother in the pink hat, white out. Sweet Scandal behind. Then came Benetoit, is pinching plenty of ground towards the inside. Coming into it on the inside, this mare, Eldorado Dreaming, gets onto her back, followed by Dawn. Well back, Pahuta Kawa from Ocean X, Miss Fabulous, and Noir in the white hat gets to the outside. They fan right across the track now, and Benetoit went through. Contapatiro takes the lead of the 300 in the middle of the track. The trio on the inside, Eldorado Dreaming, Spanish Whisper, and Benetoit. Noir's running on with a big run on the outside, and Miss Fabulous makes ground. Contapatiro 3 lengths clear. Miss Fabulous going to second together with Noir. It's Contapatiro nicely clear in the Coolmore Classic, and Contapatiro goes on to win it from Miss Fabulous and Noir. Good gap back to Benetoit fourth, then Sweet Scandal, Spanish Whisper. Further back to Dawn, Pahuta Kawa, Delectation Girl, Eldorado Dreaming. A good 6 or 7 back then to Invincible Gem from Acting, Fiesta, Ocean X. Sylvia's Mother has not handled the conditions. She's finished a clear last.
Well, Gay Waterhouse equals a long-standing record held by Max Lees. Gay wins her 5th Coolmore Classic, and she shares it this time with Adrian Bott, who wins his first. $24.40 and $7.40. The mare who went to stud. She didn't get in foal. She was sent back to the stables, and she has got a Group 1. So now, when she goes back to the breeding barn, she's an even more valuable brood mare. Job done. Miss Fabulous, another second for Chris Lees. 2 years in a row after Eldorado Dreaming and Noir.
We just rode her a bit too aggressive and a bit too close to a hot speed, and it didn't look to be much speed again today, so we just wanted to just sort of bang around and just get her comfortable. And
more valuable broodmare because she's got a Group 1 next to her name.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like I say, well, what are we going to do with this form? It was the track was when it's raining on the day. You just got to be forgiving for anything that failed. But she really stood up. You know, it was well documented. She went to stud. She went. I think she was covered by Zoo Star. She didn't get in foal, and here she is winning probably the best mares race in the country. Really enhancing a value. What about Miss Fabulous? You know, I thought she'd be the first late scratching when that rain came yesterday. They were always crying and scratching her when there was wet tracks last preparation, and she's run the race of her life there, charging into second spot there. Noir, she had to make a long, sustained, wide run. She's going well for a mare that hasn't won in so long. And what can you say about the rest? Benetoit was heavily backed and run accordingly. Did run a really nice race for obviously a mudlark, but the rest of them were just, you know, lengths and lengths away because of those conditions.
Yeah, look, I'm exactly the same as you. We've been talking about this all morning. It's very hard to to go with this wet form when it's raining on the day. It's almost like it's a super heavy track. It's not just a heavy track. So inconsistent form going forward. The only one that
51 to 26 into $15. So that's coming up on April 11.
The Alistair Stakes.
A tick over 12 minutes away. Horses will soon be in the mounting yard for our feature race tonight, the Group 2 Alistair Clark Stakes. And not a great deal of change in the market at this point in time. We've only got 7 horses.
Racing, nonconformist away well. Now, Liam's the Boss veered in and Miami Bound got interference at the start. Away quickly, Think and Fly going to the lead from nonconformist. Adelaide Ace is charging up to make a line of 3 and now dropping behind is Diasonic. They're 3 lengths in front of Liam's the Boss. Miami Bound last. Think and Fly, Liam's the Boss. They race in pairs. They come down the side. 850 to go. Think and Fly beautifully rated. Adelaide Ace every possible. 2 lengths nonconformist, nowhere to go. Diasonic's got him in a pocket. Miami Bound's fate is in the lap of nonconformist at the moment because it's directly behind him. And on the outside, Liam's the Boss. No real action yet. Think and Fly held back to the field at the 600. Adelaide Ace about to come off the bed. He's just being niggled out a little bit. Then came Diasonic coming with a run. Around the field, Liam's the Boss. Back on the inside, nonconformist, nowhere to go. He's trying to angle out 3 wide, but got pushed back in, and Miami Bound can't win. Think and Fly in front of Adelaide Ace, drawing up as they turn. Adelaide Ace takes the lead. Nonconformist in the clear, and he went whooshka. Nonconformist stormed to the front from Adelaide Ace. Boy, he's going to make him look second rate tonight, Nonconformist. He might be very, very good. Nonconformist roars away and wins it by 3 lengths. Adelaide Ace second, Diastonic third from Miami Bound, Think and Fly, and last is Liam's the Boss. He is a very, very good horse, this bloke. He had it all to do there. He was locked away. Charles was pushing out. He got pushed back in, and then as soon as he got out, he hit the detonator button and he exploded. It was a great win.
It is a ripper.
Oh, you're a good judge, though. Terry Bailey's. He's had the great pleasure of calling a lot of William Reid's. He's alongside Grace Ramage now as we build up to...
Yes, it looks like the best ride in this race is going to win it, that is for sure. Bivouac, he was terrific winning the Newmarket. He popped out to $2.70 at one stage later on this afternoon, and a whack. Punters jumped straight back on him. Hugh Bowman in the saddle from his gate 1 tonight. Track racing perfect here. Into $2.30 and your favourite. Loving Gabby, she has her supporters. $5 at 9 a.m. this morning, and it's been a slow build up to $4.80 into $4.60. Loving Gabby also well supported. Can't write a ticket for Exceedance. Scars of Justice out to $11. And then Guitra. Geez. Dominant performance. The big concern is the inside barrier. That's what cost him winning the Manicato at this track and distance last preparation. The difference tonight, though, might be the presence of Pippi, who could string this field out.
His father, Anthony, won for the Hawks family, and Tommy Berry comes down to ride.
If you forgive the first up run, and history says trying to win a Newmarket first up is almost impossible, then he does look the main danger to the favourite on his previous.
3-year-old fillies. There's only one filly this year, Loving Gabby.
Yeah, she was no match late for Bivouac in the Newmarket, but it's worth noting she did start a shorter price than him there and did beat him at this track and distance in the Manicato last preparation, where Craig Williams last preparation. He's going to need plenty of luck from Barry 1, but if he gets it, I think he's good enough to win. Loving Gabby loves the Valley 2 from 2. 16 there, Grace, for Guitra. But, geez, good lordy me, it's all about a Bivouac. Folks, I was talking to you around the $2.30 mark. Well, he's just been whacked here late. Punters have jumped all over him. Into $2.15, if you like. This is a Group 1 William Reid, and there's been an avalanche of money for now the clear-cut favourite. Look at this, $2 an early Bivouac with
horse only that can win.
This is an extraordinary move, Richo, because we saw there at 9 a.m. this morning, Bivouac was a $3 chance. When we were talking about this race only a couple of hours ago, he was $2.70 across the boards, I think $2.80 even available. He's opened up $2.40 on the VOP, so there's been good, significant moves for him in the past couple of hours, and he has just been truckloaded. It has been one-way betting in the last half an hour for this.
Racing, Bivouac came out brilliantly near the inside. Fast out Guitra. Pippi looking to cross and Loving Gabby spearing forward. They're broken away. 2.5 lengths on Scales of Justice. Embrace Me. Wide out is Vital Silver. Mystic Journey. Exceedance well back in the field with Rock Magic and Zutori last. Bivouac held the lead. It's Bivouac flying along in front from Loving Gabby and Guitra. Pippi couldn't get across. Goes back to be running fourth. They were followed by Scales of Justice. One from the fence. Embrace Me. Wide out Vital Silver. Mystic Journey. Journey Exceedance, Rock Magic, and Zuturi the last one. The Newmarket Handicap winner, Bivouac, and the favourite for the running of the William Reid Stakes, held together by Huey. He's a neck in front of Loving Gabby, going up, putting on the pressure. Guitras had the drop on the fence. Pippi about to wind up and come to the outside. Then Embrace Me. There's nothing from the back. On the corner now, Bowman and Williams. Inside, Bivouac and Loving Gabby. Guitras looking for a run. They turn the bend and hitting the front, Lucking Gabby. Loving Gabby drew clear from Bivouac. Guitras getting out and he's charging home. Loving Gabby in front. She's holding Guitra. She wins the big double, the Manicato and the William Reid Stakes. That's a great performance. Beats Guitra. Bivouac ran third, Mystic Journey fourth. Then came Pippi, Scales of Justice, Rock Magic behind those. They were followed by Vital Silver. Pippi dropped out, Exceedance, Never Likely. Well back, Embrace Me, and Zuturi at the tail. Wow, she loves the valley. And Craig Williams again fired her out of the gate. And when Pippi couldn't get across, Bivouac held the lead, as most thought that was a chance of happening. They've run 1:9.44. Kieran Maher and the team clapping, cheering her home. And Kieran looks on as if it was a fate that was inevitable. And she's been able to win it, Loving Gabby. She really is a top-class filly, and she just loves the valley. She was in the zone tonight. Guitra ran a cheeky race.
Many placings, and she just seems to love the valley. She was looking for the bend there at last start down the straight, and Craig Williams too also. Brilliant ride. I thought the key to this race was the start, and he had to be quite forceful with her to get her into that position, and I think that was a difference.
Yeah, when Bivouac led...
The William Reid and Loving Gabby picks up another Group 1 on Friday night.
Oh, what a good filly this is, and she never runs bad. Give her a slot. Give her a slot for sure.
Oh,
give her a slot.
Give her a slot.
No doubt about this one.
She's going to have to prove herself in the TJ, though. That will be her next target, but...
She won't run bad.
She will not run badly. She's always been... We've always loved her, haven't we? The way that she's paraded when she was a 2-year-old up here, but she's gone to another level as a 3-year-old, and she always had that written all over her.
Look at that Mystic Journey. What a good run that was. She is a good mare, and she'd have been off that little bit of a setback with the blood that's in the red and white coming through late. She was motoring to the line there. So.
What do we say about Bivouac?
Well, I was praising the tactics early because the Mooney Valley angle, but I think I want to be forgiving him. It's not his style, probably hunting him out like that. So I'll be forgiving. We'll assess him next time.
Here comes the Mornington Cup, and it's 2.5 minutes away. And as we touched on, Gator, very good support everywhere for Hush Ryder, with the blinkers going on first time, horse 2.
Yeah, I think add to that the blinkers you've touched on and the drier track. I think they're significant ticks. The last time this horse was third up, he won a Newcastle Cup, remember. He'd be on speed. The level of pressure through Inverloch will probably be the key, but certainly in my quaddy, Hush Ryder.
And just Ben.
Patiently racing in the Mornington Cup. Inverloch jumped away cleanly with Hush Ryder and Von Jamask. They're the 3 with Beau Belmain after 150. Vaucluse Bay settles behind those, followed by Just Benjamin, who rails through to about 5th. Then Actau, Stars of Karam. Further back is Harlem, Suzuka, Devious, Skelm. Last is Midterm. 2,000 metres to go into the straight. Hush Ryder sped them off and led by about 2 lengths to in second place Inverloch, 3 lengths Bleeder, then Vaucluse Bay, and they spread out about 3 lengths Von Jamask, the outside of Harlem, 1.25 lengths to Actau, who'd spot the speed about 12 at least, and then Midterm, Suzuka, Devious, Stars of Karam, and Skelm is last. So Hush Ryder has really spread them at the 800 metres, strings them out about 3 lengths in front. Inverloch second, 2.5 Beau Belmain, 1.25 lengths Just Benjamin, the inside of Vaucluse Bay, then Von Jamask, who's heavily ridden, then came Harlem, Suzuka, Devious. Where's Actau? It's about third last, passed by Stars of Karam, Skelm and Midterm. So Hush Ryder, as they reach the 500 metres, it's a staying test now. Inverloch, Beau Belmain make a line of 3. Hush Ryder's gone. Vaucluse Bay got to third, Stars of Karam, then Actau, and they were followed by Just Benjamin into the straight. It's Inverloch and Beau Belmain. They lock horns into the straight at the 200 metres. Inverloch kicks 1.25 lengths, Beau Belmain. Actau running on, and so too Stars of Karam. Inverloch, 100 metres to go in front. Actau's flashing home. Inverloch stopping. Actau pegs back the margin and got up to win the Mornington Cup. Actau beat Inverloch and flashing home Skelm third. Then Stars of Karam, Vaucluse Bay and Beau Belmain from Just Benjamin. Next Midterm, Harlem, Suzuka, Devious, Hush Ryder, and a long last of Von Jamask.
Actau at 450 and 180 had to be shook up towards the 600 metres. It was a solidly run race and is brought into the back markers.
I'm trying to read between the lines. I think they wanted a wetter track than what they've got here today, but they do have the jar out of it. I think that's good enough. He is capable of taking up a position, this horse, which is up in the air in this race. So it seems soft track plays into her hands, and she appears cool, calm and collected.
Yeah, wasn't it surprised to see her going forward? Like everyone else, he's a magnificent looking type, and I feel that this preparation, well, you've had an impeccable start so far. I hope it carries on.
Thanks very much. OK, Chris Waller has a number of runners here. Chris, if the George Ryder still to come. There's Young Star going into the gate. She hasn't won for officially 664 days. Her last win was in the Queensland Oaks. And here is Adib. What can he do? Here's Darren Flindell for the call of the Ranvet Stakes.
The first of our 5 Group 1s, and they're off here in the Ranvet Stakes. And last year's winner of Villiers was first out, but Adib is quickly moving up on the outside. Young Star's handy and Very Elegant in the small field is planted 4 wide in the early stages from Norway. Then Natoya and Dance is last of a very tightly bunched field. So Young Star's a narrow leader from Adib pressing on the outside. Very Elegant still caught wide but pushing forward as Adib takes up the running going into the first corner. And Adib draws out by a length and a half to Very Elegant, who races up to second. Running rail as they go past 1,000 on the inside of Avilius, and 2 lengths away to Natoya. Well, William Haggis and Tom Marquand winning earlier in the day with Young Rascal. They're looking for the double now. Second favourite in the QE2 Cup, and Adib shows the way by 3/4 to Very Elegant, who's really keeping tabs with the British horse, and they quicken the speed a long way from home. 2 lengths away to Norway, then Young Star. 2 further back to Avilius from Dance, nailed on the fence, and Natoya being scrubbed up at the rear. They're both going at it a long way from home, coming around the turn. Adib on the inside of Very Elegant, goes stride for stride, and Very Elegant really pouring the pressure on now. Very Elegant the outside of Adib. She gets about a neck in front, but Adib comes back on the inside, 3 lengths clear from Avilius. It's Very Elegant and Adib, shades of the earlier race. Adib's lifting on the inside of Very Elegant. Adib and Very Elegant. Adib strong, and Adib goes on to win the Ranvet. What a super ride by Tom Marquand, 1.5 length to Very Elegant. A big gap back to Avilius. Then came Young Star from Dance, Natoya and Norway.
Aussie Tom, don't go home. You can't anyway. 340 and 210. Adib just quite simply outstayed Very Elegant. Like in the staying race we saw earlier.
I think that's their semi-finals. Wait till they get to the grand final. First up, he beat a good filly or good mare that's had a couple of runs under her belt. She looked the winner for 1 or 2 strides, but you knew this horse was going to fight, and fight he did. They quickened up a long way out and got...
An outstanding galloper. He is world class, Adib.
Yeah, he certainly is. His record speaks for itself. The form around him speaks for itself. And what about this for a 600 metre, 650 sprint home here? They have come home here in 33:41, these 2 horses. Absolutely airborne on a track like this, and just much faster than anything else on the day from leader to the post. Wow, he's just sensational. A very tough horse. They say they were their semi-finals. Well, look out if they got grand finals.
Believe me, both of those horses had a fair bit of improvement in them from as far as their fitness and their coats were concerned. So really, they're cooking with gas. I was stood with Jason Richardson, and when Very Elegant loomed up, he said, don't eyeball him, because they just keep finding, and that's exactly how the race panned out in the end. I just want to say about Tom Marquand, he's only had a handful of runs.
He's a special mention there, Very Elegant. She went down in a blaze of glory, and Natoya was really good considering sectionals.
Yeah.
She's flying.
With Very Elegant, the biggest asset that she's now shown is that she's able to sit forward in a race, and that just puts her in every single race that she's in.
Ryder Stakes. Here Group 1 win on Adib. Now to our next Group 1, the Agency George Ryder Stakes over 1,500 metres at weight for age and amounting out
$61 yesterday, $41 this morning. That's a good trim, and best of days a drifter out to $41. But the horse on your screen runs clear favourite here for the George Ryder, the Shark, Tiako Shark. And Greg, a little bit of news. There was a tweet apparently from Australian
Ryder of 2020, Tiako Shark, the odds-on favourite, and the gates are back. They're off. Best of days missed the kick off the inside, and Dreamforce and the Bostonian were first two out, with Spend, who's very keen to find a forward position as well. 2 lengths away to Brandon Bergen. Tiako Shark goes up into 5th position. 4 behind him early. Elise the fence. Super Seth caught a bit deep on the outside of Happy Clapper, and Best of Days, who missed the kick, holds that position on the fence. So going to the first turn, and Dreamforce shows the way by a length and a half to Spend. The Bostonian back to 3rd. Brandenburg railing through. They're followed then by Tiako Shark. Over on the inside, Elise and Happy Clapper poking forward. At this point, 2 further back to Super Seth on the outside of Best of Days. Down the side of the course, and it's Dreamforce on top by 3/4 to Spend. 2 further back to Brandenburg, the Bostonian. Back in the field, Tiako Shark's a bit keen and wide from Elise and Happy Clapper poking through. Super Seth being revved up by Zara now, getting onto the back of the Shark, and Best of Days is hugging the rails, coming around the turn, and Dreamforce Rawilla comes wide, leads by 2 lengths on Spend. Then came the Bostonian. Tiako Shark winding up, he dropped Super Seth. Dreamforce at the 250, 2 lengths clear from the Bostonian. Spend. Then came Tiako Shark. He really needs to lift the Shark. It's Dreamforce in front of the Bostonian, closing in. Dreamforce a length and a half the Bostonian. Dreamforce just in front from the Bostonian. Dreamforce led all the way in the George Ryder. Dreamforce from the Bostonian. A photo finish for 3rd between Brandenburg and Tiako Shark, who was keen and wide in the run. Further back to Best of Days, Happy Clapper, Elise, then Super Seth, and Spend weakened out.
Dreamforce gets his Group 1. He's been trying. He's been runner-up. But today's got it. It's his on his own. John Thompson and Nash Rawilla beats the Bostonian and will stand by for 3rd. But Duff, the way the race was run, it was Dreamforce's race to lose today.
He certainly was. You know, it's a great asset to have, his gate speed and race speed. And that
race last year, it was Brutal and Dreamforce who had to chase home Winks in the George Ryder. No Winks today. Dreamforce has run away with the George Ryder to give.
And he just founds the A-grade part of the track at this stage of the meeting, and I thought he held off a very brave the Bostonian. Tiako Shark is a dead set forgive. That's not his style of race, and probably back to 1,500 didn't suit him, and the stewards have, you know, they weren't happy with the ride, to tell you the truth. They're still.
What did you think of the ride?
Well, I can understand him being in 2 minds, considering how slow they were going, and he knows this horse can pull off a sectional late off any speed. But I think even Opie thought, geez, I can't be easing back here. This is just not on. Mm-hmm. And as it turned out, it turned ugly for him. He was 4 and 5 deep, no cover the whole way. The leader was off and gone when he had to make ground. It was just a forgetful experience.
You're always going to get that with horses like him, aren't you, when you're dropping back, say, that 100 metres to a 1,500, or even, if you go back even further, he's a back marker who naturally sits last, and he's going to have bad luck situations. That's what we said last time. The only way that he's going to get beaten is his racing pattern, and that's what happened.
That's it, yeah. His fate.
For Harvey Norman, shop with confidence. If you need advice, they're there to help. Richard Litton, Craig Williams.
Well, it's 2 forgive runs back from
the mounting yard. For Harvey Norman, shop with confidence. If you need advice, they're there to help. Richard Litton, Craig Williams.
Well, it's 2 forgive runs back from a spell. It's time to put his hand up now. 2,000 metres, very fit, and no excuses for him today. And I think there's a lot of confidence to say that he could bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can see why there would be confidence. He's certainly at his peak fitness now. He's always a ball.
He's the Ranvet Guineas second up there. He was beautifully ridden there, but should improve again at 2,000 metres, more to his liking.
Yeah, it just was a bonus that to my numbers or as my on-top selection. Of the others, I thought Shadow Hero also paraded in very similar order. Like I said last start, there wasn't much between them, and again, they're fronting up with not a great deal between them again. Castelvecchio, I feel that this is his time to absolutely peak, so he has to...
The Ranvet Guineas winner, Shadow Hero, the favourite. Gates are back and they're off and racing, and Prince Fawaz really sooled up out of the gates looking for the lead. Castelvecchio's up there with him. Pancho a handy third and Sherwood Forest poking forward, and Warning zipping right up the inside, and the Holy One's going forward. Boy, there's plenty happening in the first couple of 100 metres as Prince Fawaz finds the front, and Sherwood Forest got across from the outside draw to park up in second, followed by the Holy One keen on the outside of Castelvecchio, whose leader's back in the early stages. Warning is three back. The Prince Fawaz, the bold, the long odds on front runner, but the Holy One is pretty keen, is going to pour the pressure on a long way from home. In fact, the Holy One takes the front now. Boy, it's done some work, gets two in front, Get the Idea goes to second. Prince Fawaz third, and Sherwood Forest, the initial leader, drops back to be fourth now with cover. Then came Castelvecchio, three back the rails on the inside of Pancho. Warning is four back the fence on the inside of Score. Then came Reloaded Keen on the inside of Shadow Hero. Further back to Chains of Honour from Impactful, and Chenier stands them a big start. There's still plenty happening. Sherwood Forest pulls out from its trailing position. The Holy One a half in front to Get the Idea. Sherwood Forest goes to third, three wide now, followed then by Pancho trying to get onto its back. Prince Fawaz just behind. Castelvecchio somewhat cluttered up, looking for the gaps now and getting to the outside, and the Guineas into the straight. The Holy One just in front of Prince Fawaz. Sherwood Forest, Castelvecchio get going. Then came Pancho, Shadow Hero, six off the lead. Castelvecchio charges to the lead. 200 metres out. It beat off Prince Fawaz by 3/4 of a length, although he's gained Prince Fawaz. Castelvecchio a half in front to Prince Fawaz. They've got it between them, but Castelvecchio, a masterful ride by Craig Williams up on the speed, and he wins the Rosehill Guineas from Prince Fawaz. Reloaded ran the third. Then came Warning and Shadow Hero. Further back to Chains of Honour, Sherwood Forest. Further back then to Pancho from Chenier, Get the Idea, the Holy One, Scorps, and Impactful. And it's Castelvecchio's Guineas with Craig Williams riding to the track pattern.
Castelvecchio, a Group 1 winner at 2. He's now a Group 1 winner at 3. He's also runner-up behind a Star in the Cox Plate. He is a valuable stallion by Dundeel, and he wins today, beating the Prince. What a race. What a thrill for the boys sitting at home at Cogra. They almost got it. Reloaded third, Shadow Hero fourth. It is 1, 6, 7 and 2. And the winner's about to return. Richard Litt, the winning trainer, Duff, and it is
colours, and you know, we're so proud of him and everyone at home. It's just been wonderful.
Did you walk away last start disappointed, or did you look forward to this race and getting revenge?
Look, I think, you know, we looked at it long and hard, and the more we looked at it, the better it was. And you know, just coming here today, 2,000 metres, Craig Williams aboard, even though Kieran never really put a foot wrong, and we're very grateful for the work that he did. But you know, we're full of confidence coming here, and you know, the real Castelvecchio turned up and blew them away.
You've said from the start,
very special, and there's a little bit of pressure, and I always say there's, you know, pressures for tyres, but today we felt it, and you know, we're just lucky we've got a great horse.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Kio.
I've seen in the last 6 months.
I couldn't agree with you more. Unbelievable ride. For him to take the bit between his teeth and then go forward and put him in the race, it was all over.
Yeah. Yeah, look, like I said, he must have been on so much pressure, Richard Litt, to get this horse back on track. He'd been inconclusive in his couple of runs back, and yeah, he was fantastic. The Prince was fantastic from the front at big odds there. Reloaded, gave a good side again. I think Shadow Hero, he was started slowly, he was on the back foot at the start, and he just had too much to do. I thought that was a good derby trial from him. Likewise with Warning, who wants 1.5 miles.
The Prince actually pulled up 2 out of 5 lame as well, so that's something to take into account. Even though he ran so well, he had a few problems after the race, so just keep your eye on him. But great performance, great training performance, and very, very exciting to see Richard Litt being able to take out another Group 1.
Now, Now, just for the record, they ran second, OK? They ran second. Now, that sign you see up there, the Prince is coming, that stems back from the interview I did with Evan Passaris, one of the owners, when I was interviewing after the J.J. Atkins, and I said, "Here comes your horse." And he yelled out to the group of people, "Hey, guys, the Prince is coming." And that's how that phrase got started. Wasn't that great to go out there and see those guys yesterday?
Oh, they'd be on cloud nine, you know, because we were hoping Derby chance with his racing style going forward, mile and a half, he's stuck on. You know, you would have thought Castelvecchio was going to put 6 on him there when he went past him. But he really was resilient there late, the Prince, and the Prince might be coming, and it could well be on Derby Day.
Yeah, he's...
OK, I've got Craig Williams down now as 58 Group 1s in his career. That includes 7 overseas. So it's interesting here. Castelvecchio, in that interview, Richard Litt said, well, the option there is to go straight to the Queen Elizabeth for the $4 million. He's got a Group 1 as a 3-year-old, but the Derby's still on the table. Shadow Hero warning, reloaded Chenier. That's the Derby market. $3.50 now for the Queen Elizabeth. Have a look at this. $3.50 a D. Tiago Shark $4. Down on Premium $5. Castelvecchio $7. Very Elegant $9. Master of Wine $11. What a race.
Oh.
It's too good a race, isn't it?
Yeah, very. We have to keep racing.
Yeah.
Tagaloa, number 1, Michael Walker for Trent Buston and Natalie Young.
Yeah, I like this colt, and he carries my money. I keep saying I think it was the best 2-year-old performance of the year in the Blue Diamond. Negative ride last time. He just learned what it was all about on getting on the right leg in Sydney. He's going to be ridden, I'd suggest, more positive, and he's been dominant, winning 2 strong lead-ups, the Silver Slipper and the Todman. Beautiful style of racing and hard to beat.
Yeah, we talk about horses that are honest and consistent. Well, this horse fits the barrier. He just seems...
Perfect draw.
He's had a long campaign. Absolutely, that's the key factor with her, isn't it? She's holding her condition because she's had plenty of racing, and it would be no mean feat to be able to take out this Golden Slipper with the amount of racing that she...
November 9, Dame Giselle, Tim Clark for the Snowdens.
He's a beautifully prepared horse, as you'd expect from Team Snowden. She's just been qualified for a long time. They get their timing right more often than not, and a beautiful filly.
Exact, great bone on her. She's extremely well balanced, which is what you want to see in these types of 2-year-olds. My first look at her, and I'm not disappointed.
And see you soon. 21.26 back into $21. In summary, there just some nibble
because he's taken quite a bit of improvement from that last start performance. He just really improved in his coat, and I think that's good enough to definitely run.
112, 3 and 14 for me. I've got to go the line with Tagaloa here. I just hope he just lands in the right spot.
Ever run. It is crowdless here at Rosehill Gardens. They're racing for $3.5 million. It's one of 5 Group 1s on the card. The audience at home.
Gates are back, they're racing, and Farnan got it off to a terrific start. Away game was nicely out. Mildred's pushing up, and Dame Giselle's going through the centre. Tagaloa moves up right behind them, followed deep out by Menage. Then came Mama Reagan, Hungry Heart, and Prague's caught pretty deep going into the first bend. Then See You Soon, Hanseatic out deep, followed by King's Legacy. A break to Thermosphere, then came Mudasira. A good gap back in the field to Personal, who's up on the outside of Rathlin. They link up with the course proper now, and Bowman has Farnan in the lead, out by 3/4 to Mildred. Away game third from Dame Giselle. Tagaloa being hard ridden. Menage the outside. Then came Mama Reagan from Hungry Heart, further back to See You Soon as they straighten up, and Hanseatic's well back in the field. Farnan comes several horses off the fence. Away game and Mama Reagan go up the inside. Dame Giselle's giving chase. Then came Mildred, Tagaloa, and further back to Prague. Hungry Heart making ground with See You Soon. It's Farnan in front, 150 out. Away game is in for the fight the inside. It's Farnan a half in front to Away game, and Farnan another one for Gay Waterhouse. Farnan leads all the way from Away game and Mama Reagan. Home into fourth was Tagaloa. Then came Hungry Heart from Dame Giselle, and Prague was next after the wide trip. Further back to See You Soon from Personal, King's Legacy. Then Rathlin from Thermosphere, Mildred, Hanseatic, Montasira, and one of the last to finish there was Menage, and Gay Waterhouse teaming up with Adrian Bott for this year's slipper.
And it is that man's day right there on screen. Gay Waterhouse not on track today, but she's been saying in the press all week, it's his day, it's Adrian's day. Well, they'll share it all with Hugh Bowman, who's done just about everything in racing. He'd never won a Golden Slipper. He gets it today. He provides Gay Waterhouse with her 7th win, Adrian Bott with his 1st.
Very much a team effort, and I very much want her a part of it. You know, she's been a big support for all of us, and she's obviously got such a fantastic record in this race, and you know, feel very honoured to be able to do it alongside her, and wouldn't be able to do it with her behind us and the team behind us. So you know, thank everyone that did so in a major way. You know, he's come back a different horse this campaign, and he's been quite special. You know, look, he's proved himself in the lead-ups as very dominant, and he was dominant again today. He showed that great tactical speed that he's always had, and was able to control the race. And you know, there was more pressure on today. That was the question that had to be asked of him, and he responded well. He was able to quicken away off that. And
it's great that Adrian was, well, he's probably more of a part of this than Gay, to be honest, because he's there doing all the groundwork and with the guidance of Gay, of course. But look, it's great for everyone and for the Aquas team who have invested, and it's a very special day.
Yeah, another.
Yourselves giving chase. Then came Mildred Tagaloa, and further back to Prague. Hungry Heart making ground with See You Soon. It's Farnan in front, 150 out. Away Game is in for the fight, the inside. It's Farnan a half in front to Away Game, and Farnan another one for Gay Waterhouse. Farnan leads all the way from Away Game and Mama Reagan. Home into 4th was Tagaloa. Then came Hungry Heart from Dame Giselle, and Prague was next after the wide.
Yes, it will be one of the most memorable slippers. Now let's deal with each individual. First of all, that man on screen, Adrian Bott, who trains in partnership with Gay Waterhouse. Gay Waterhouse has been convalescing after surgery. She hasn't been going to the track, and she didn't go to the track yesterday. She said, it is all about Adrian. This is his day. He's done all the work. Slipper live at home.
Away Game and Mama Reagan up the inside. Dame Yourselves giving chase. Then came Mildred.
Come on, Farnan. Come on. Come on. Yeah, come on. Go on. Come on. Come on. Go on.
Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
When we had our first picture of Adrian Bott moments after he won the Golden Slipper. But Duff and Lizzie, what we missed yesterday is that stroll through the mounting yard. It's almost like a charge when Gay appears after winning a Golden Slipper or any group.
Very much a team effort, and I very much want her a part of it. You know, she's.
The 5th and final Group 1 of the day is the City Tattersalls Club Galaxy over 1,100 metres. One is Parada, and this mounting yard is brought to you by Harvey.
Time is back for another tilt. She won this 2 years ago.
That she did. She's always been a high-class mare. She's gone around in the Everest, and she's a little bit hard to...
Racing in the Galaxy, and Jungle Edge left well. Jungle Edge just from Madame Rouge, and showing tremendous speed as Miss Leonidas on the fence to hold them all out. Do it comfortably from Savatiano, driving through the pack, going to second. Then came Jungle Edge third from Madame Rouge. Anahid out deep with Tafane going between runners. 2 further back to Cosmic Force racing wide. Then came I Am Excited from In Her Time. Wider out for Seeker from Parada. Then came Deprived Pretty in Pink, and Soothing is the last one. 500 metres to run. Miss Leonidas shows the way from Savatiano. Then Jungle Edge, Anahid out deep. Madame Rouge being roused along from Tafane. Cosmic Force is getting right to the outside, down to the 300. Miss Leonidas being challenged now by Savatiano. Madame Rouge the inside, then came Anahid. I Am Excited making good headway on the fence at the 200. Miss Leonidas still in front from Savatiano. Then Tafane closing off. Miss Leonidas, I Am Excited rattling home with Tafane in the middle. Here's a great go in the Galaxy. They're wide apart. I Am Excited the inside, and Miss Leonidas wide out. I Am Excited maybe there. Tafane third right behind. Then came Deprived with In Her Time Soothing. Further back to Parada from Madame Rouge, Pretty in Pink for Seeker, Jungle Edge, Cosmic Force, Anahid. Gripping photo here. They're very wide apart.
I think the 9 will get it. I Am Excited. The pick of the yard from Lizzie might have arrived in time. We'll see the finish coming up in just a moment. And 12 hitting the line locked together, and here is right down the outside Miss Leonidas, but it is up on the board 9. 7, 12. Numbers are up. 9's won it. I'm excited.
Well, she really put the writing on the wall. Big odds there and a good tip from Lizzie. But who would have thought she'd be that close and had clear running? She was always going to be figuring in that finish from the 200, 300 home. And a great result for Connections there. A Group 1 with a beautiful mare. She's done an amazing job there. And Tafani's very good also. She ran right up to expectations. But I'm excited. This fence has dried out. And a few, including in the slipper, have made good ground there.
Well, for all the stay-at-homes, won his first Group 1. And this man, David Pfeiffer, won his first Group 1 as a trainer. I'm excited. Well done to him. After 12 years of training, he deserved it.
Yeah, he certainly did. And with a small string, he does a great job. And this track had sort of dried out on the inside a little bit these last couple of races, and it was a smart move here by Timmy Clark to say, well, I'll ride this mare a little bit closer than she's used to, and it really paid off. Miss Leonidas, she was terrific doing all the work. Tafani was great. There were so many good runs in that race, just trying to work out a little bit of bias there, and you'd have to be very forgiving for these horses right out wide here. Parata, Fasika, there was so many good runs.
So many good runs. I really feel, I spoke to Ronnie about this before, I think this is a really good form race going forward. Fasika, whatever she goes in, she's going to be very, very competitive. Pirata with that big weight, he hit the line beautifully. And of course, you have to go with, I'm excited as well, she's going forward. The key with her is if she draws an inside gate, and the fact that she's come back a lot stronger this preparation, she looks as though this is going to be her stellar prep, and she's proved that with a Group 1 win.
It's here, or slowly they're arriving down at the gates, which is at the 2,000 metres on the side of the track. Let's get the late mail from Ron Dufficy.
Yeah, 3-1-5-6 for me here. Look, I'm happy to spec away at Relucent here. It sounds like Pride of Adelaide's going to make a bit of a staying test of this. He can stay this horse. He'll be tough. Hopefully he can get us,
Right, the Tulic Stakes is about 90 seconds away. Last 3 winners of this, Brass, have come out to win the Derby 7 days later.
Yeah, a natural stepping stone. You often see that with, well, not saying that they win all the time, but you see these set weight races, the traditional.
For the Tulic Stakes, the last 3 winners of this have gone on to win the Derby, and the greats are back now. They're off, and the favourite Quick Thinker jumped well, High Master out well. Diasonic pushes on the outside, and Very Deep Pride of Adelaide. Just behind them there, Blazing Sunrise will park in 5th. A length further back to Zabrowski's caught a bit deep early on the outside of Fortress Command, although it zipped over to find the fence, so Zabrowski gets over one off now. And the last 2, Sir Mays and Relucent. So Pride of Adelaide at the mile mark's going to lead the way by a length and a half on Diasonic, and a high last of all. Well, Pride of Adelaide's getting pretty keen here in the lead. He's really overdoing it. This is the big acid test today, but he's doing himself no favours. Pride of Adelaide leads by 4. Diasonic in second, and Sir Mays certainly gives away a big start. It's still 3 lengths behind the second last horse, slowly starting to tack on. So the pace has been genuine here. They go inside the 800 metres, and Pride of Adelaide by 2.5 to Diasonic, a length further back to High Master. Taking closer order now. Then Quick Thinker, Blazing Sunrise. Zabrowski starting to creep into it. Looks like Bowman's getting onto the back of the favourite Quick Thinker as they come to the turn. Relucent out deep from Fortress Command. Racing up to the turn down, Pride of Adelaide coming back to Diasonic. Quick Thinker gets going from High Master. Zabrowski's making hard work of it. 300 out, and Quick Thinker moved up now to join Diasonic in the lead. Pride of Adelaide's gone. Quick Thinker gets a half in front to Diasonic. Blazing Sunrise and Zabrowski. He's really starting to dig in late. Quick Thinker in front. 150 out by a length and a half on Zabrowski and Diasonic. They're fighting out the minors, but Quick Thinker is going on for a big win here in the Tulic Stakes by a length and a half to Zabrowski. Diasonic third. I think Relucent White outgrabbed fourth, and Fortress Command late from Blazing Sunrise. Pride of Adelaide too keen early. Then came a High Master, and Sir Mays was never ever a factor today.
Quick Thinker, number 1. So Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman progressed to the Derby. We'll get an update with Glenn in a moment. Prior to that race, Quick Thinker was a $15 chance in the Derby behind Castelvecchio, Shadow Hero and Warning. and also Reloaded. We'll get who trains in partnership with Andrew Forsman. Murray Baker won his 5th Tulic Stakes yesterday, and he's looking for his 5th derby with Quick Thinker.
Yeah, he was beautifully placed yesterday. Loves a bit of sting out of the track. He was, you know, kept onto the mark there by McDonald, kept him interested. He just sort of wanted to drop the bit at various stages. It was a good thing leading into a derby, and he makes his move here. And look, he's $15 into 11 for the derby now, and he'll run the distance. I think Bjorn will take most of the credit considering Murray's in lockdown, but he'll tell you how he's improved this horse and whatever. But anyway, he was good. Zabrowski, he's come a long way in a short time, and I think he's more of a spring prospect. The Victorian did a good job, Diasonic there, reluctant, probably, or elusive I should say, probably in the worst part of the track, and didn't want to go straight there. But all honours with the winner, he's the best derby chance out of that race.
Yeah, makeup of the race was obviously thrown up in the air with Pride of Adelaide, wasn't it? I mean, they went absolutely flat out. He just took off, and he's probably done, well, he did way too much in the run. So Mays also was vetted after the race. There was nothing wrong with him. So back to the drawing board with both of those horses.
There, but he is likely to run. What about that derby? What about that derby?
Yeah, it's just taking shape, isn't it? Obviously, Castelvecchio back in business. Shadow Hero will be better if he gets these drying weather this week. Warning's been, you know, just about ready to peak on the right day, and then all the fresh blood here with Quick Thinking winning, and yeah, that's a good Quick Thinking winning, and yeah, that's a good derby,
Ray Thomas had a good stat in the paper today. He said that since the derby has been switched from the spring to the autumn, only 2 horses have done the double. The Victoria Australian Derby, 2 champions, Dulcify and Mahogany.
Wow.
Let's go to the Emancipation Stakes over 1,500 metres. It's Fillies and Mares Group 2, and this mounting yard brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence if you need it.
Her form this prep is great. She made a long sustained run in the Coolmore. She's in great form, better draw today.
Well, she has turned out in great order.
On to number 10, Amangiri. Tommy Berry rides for Team Hawks.
Yeah, well, different form. I could be easily talked into different form in this race because the others are just all around the mark. But 140 days, won a last trial.
In excellent shape is Sweet Deal. So both of the Sweets should run very well, but I'm going with the Sweet Scandal on top.
6.10.93 for me. I'm convinced she's flying Noir. I think the inside barrier suits her better. And you cannot knock her form this preparation. Just needs a recent win. No recent win.
From Wodonga, Group 2 Emancipation Stakes, and Sweet Deal is the best backed on the tab trade. That's the gator on top of $4 into $3.20. Bahuta Kawa goes for a blow, $4.80 out to $7.50. Amangiri, the Brassel best of the day, $6 now out to $8, and Positive Piece joins at $10 into $8. And there's some money at odds for Noir, $6.
Racing now, and a Sweet Deal jump well, looking for the lead. Positive Piece being sent forward, and Amangiri's having a bite for the lead as well. So keen go here. Amangiri's going to take it from Positive Piece. So Sweet Deal will have to take the sit in third. Invincible Gem away well and lands in fourth, and they put a bit of a gap in the rest of them. Unforgotten into fifth on the outside of Noir. Then came Sweet Scandal, caught out deep with Miss Fabulous and Girl Tuesday through on the rails. They're followed further back then by Pahuta Kawa, caught deep from our Aberdeen. Ocean X back on the fence from Dawn, and Delectation Girl is the last one. Berry has Amangiri in front here, resuming today by a length on Positive Piece. Put right on the speed by Clark. The favourite Sweet Deal third. Invincible Gem fourth. 2 further back to Unforgotten Noir. Off the course is Sweet Scandal. On the outside of Miss Fabulous and Girl Tuesday, the white hat, the fence. Bahuta Kawa, our Aberdeen are next from Ocean X off the bridle. Dawn and Delectation Girl are the last 2. Coming around the turn, Amangiri on the inside of Positive Piece. Positive Piece puts the head in front. Probably got about a length in front of Amangiri at this point. Then came Sweet Deal, and further back to Noir making ground. Miss Fabulous is putting herself into the picture. Positive Piece in front by a length on Amangiri. Miss Fabulous the outside. Sweet Deal can't get there. Noir is running on, but Positive Piece clear from Noir, flashing at the end. Positive Piece though wins the Emancipation. Positive Piece, that's 5 in a row. Beat Noir and Amangiri. Then came Miss Fabulous, followed by Ocean X, who picked up Late Sweet Deal, Delectation Girl, a gap back to Girl Tuesday Unforgotten from our Aberdeen, Pahuta Kawa wide all the way, Invincible Gem dropped out sharply, and Dawn was back towards the rear.
Yeah, 5 straight all right, and it ends with a Group 2. Have a look at the progression of this horse when it started winning back at Warwick Farm on Jan 27, a benchmark 70 fillies and mares, then a benchmark 74 fillies and mares, then a benchmark 78, then a benchmark 88, and now a Group 2 Emancipation. Noir second, Amangiri third, Miss Fabulous fourth, and Sweet Deal in fifth.
Gary riding the speed, and just that month between runs at that distance was always going to be the question mark with Sweet Deal, but she did not throw it away, and that's 2 good runs from Miss Fabulous. But what a bonny mare she is.
Okay, to the Emancipation Stakes. What Dad can do, the son can do as well. Here's Bjorn Baker's positive piece. Now, this is 5 in a row, straight out of benchmark racing, still eligible for benchmark racing, and wins this Group 2 Emancipation Stakes.
Incredible. What a preparation she's had. Run second first up, and then has put that picket fence just charging through the classes, and wet, dry, mixes of distances, and just loves a fight. Loves the fight. She just oozes, loves putting pressure on horses and just running them into the ground. An amazing performance there. Noir flying without winning. Great return from Amangiri. There's a race for her over the autumn. And Miss Fabulous, well, that's 2 good runs from her now, but what a story this mare's been.
Yeah, she's been excellent. I think when you're looking at the beaten brigade, though, over the whole card, you've got to make excuses for a lot of those horses that just didn't handle the conditions or didn't get the right run in transit, but there's nothing that you can take away from her. She's been ultra consistent. She's able to position herself up on the pace, and she has a great kick as well. And every time you chat with the jockeys after the race, they don't quite know where she's going to get to, but each bar they put in front of her, she jumps over with ease. So she's exciting. Yeah, McDonald rode like a champion yesterday, but he doesn't like looking at that Pahuta car. He didn't want to be out there in that quicksand. I think he was critical of himself. Yeah. And so was James, who rarely criticises jockeys. Yeah, I'm sure he would have been. He bounced back pretty quick. Yeah. There's your
Stakes over 2,400 metres, and as you can see, jockeys and trainers separated by the public fence, and they're waiting for instructions from each and every one. J-Mac's got a big ride here coming up on the favourite, Very Elegant, who's at even money. Chris Waller taking it nice and easy. The Tancred is brought to you by Kia, and this man, Alias, number 1, last year's winner, Hugh Bowman, James Cummings.
Well, you have to forgive him with that race not to suit last week. Now that he finds, I know we keep making excuses for him of this preparation, but 2,400 metres at a track he likes, on the wet going, he has to be given another chance. Absolutely.
Look, he should run well, and he's definitely a horse that I'll be looking for the future.
OK, now we go to the favourite, number 9, Very Elegant, James McDonald, up for Chris Waller.
Yeah, she's been outstanding at her past 2 starts without winning, mind you. It's taken Tiakau Shark and a Dabe to beat her. Only has to back up from last week's run to prove hard to beat. I just want to keep an eye on her going to the barrier. Talking to James this morning, he said, you know, when you're going to the barrier with this mare, if she settles and just canters round off the bit, you know you're cooking with gas. Sometimes she wants to fight.
$1.5 million, and Very Elegant is your best bet for this venue.
Yeah, look, she was, she's come back in terrific fashion. This is the horse we always hoped she would become. So brave last week behind a world-class athlete. Daylight back to 3rd. That was Avilius, who's no slouch himself.
Does he go slow and set it up for the sprint home for Very Elegant, or does he make it a staying test up front? That'll help your Mustagias, Avilius. Interesting tactics, because he's the only leader here. G-Boss.
Group 1, Kia, Tancred Stakes. Here's Darren.
So they're ready now for the Kia Tancred Stakes, and the gates are back. They're off. Very Elegant has only begun fairly there. Other than that, Cariff jumped well, set in Mirage Dancer. Pretty handy Angel of Truth rolling forward. Close to the inside is Mustagia, and wide out, the deepest is Southern France. So Very Elegant's going to drop right back behind that pack. She's a bit keen as usual. A couple off then to Avilius, followed by Mugger 2, who's gone down to the fence, and Dancer Tira's last of all. So Boss takes Angel of Truth to the front, turning out of the straight. Southern France is the one to go and sit outside. Then Mirage Dance 2 from Avilius, and 2 off to Dancer Tira's last of all. So down the back they go, and last season's Derby winner shows the way, Angel of Truth for G Boss in the saddle, and they're at the halfway mark now. Southern France a half length away, and Dancer Tira's taken off from back in the field. Brenton Abdullah's come from last and goes to the front now, and Dancer Tira at the 1,000 metres draws out by 2.5 on Angel of Truth, Southern France. Then came Mirage Dancer. Cariff dropped back a little bit from Moustagir. Boy, the favourite gets well back now, Very Elegant. She's third last in the race from Mugatoo, and last year's winner Avilius last, 7.50 out, and Dancer Tira having made that move from last to first, maintains a big lead down the side. Dancer Tira at the 600, 3 lengths clear. Angel of Truth is flat to the boars. Then came Mirage Dancer. Wider out, Very Elegant tries to get going with Southern France. Cariff in a tricky spot from Mugatoo, and Avilius is last. Dancer Tira keeps up the gallop at the 350. 2 or 3 lengths in front of Moustagir. Now Very Elegant starting to wind up on the outside. Well, look at her come into it. Very Elegant in a stride. She pounced on the front. 250 out. Avilius looks the only danger, but Very Elegant 2.5, 3 lengths clear now. Oh, what a mighty performance by Very Elegant. She won the Vinery last year. A cheeky peep by James McDonald and a well-earned pat down the neck. Very Elegant won it easily from Moustagir and Avilius. I'd say they've gone that way for second and third. Then came Mirage Dancer from Cariff. Further back to Mugatoo, Angel of Truth. Dancer Tira made it interesting, and Southern France couldn't stand the pressure there and finished last.
Well, no cheering on track, but everyone can just sit back wherever you're watching this race from and just admire that performance by Very Elegant. One of the easiest wins you'll see. James McDonald wins his 3rd Tancred Stakes. Chris Waller his 2nd. And Very Elegant the 2nd time out to 1.5 miles, and she destroys the opposition. Moustagir and Avilius heads up and heads down when they get to the line. Oh, almost a dead heat. There may be a margin to Moustagir. The judge will call it.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at the last 100 metres of that race, take the short price, no worries. But if you can confidently tell me you weren't worried at some stage during that race that mare might have been in trouble, I think you'd be telling a few porkies, because just little things that didn't happen for her, but she was just lethal there at the finish. Run the 1.5 miles, run it right out as a 4-year-old. Can't back up? You're kidding. Unbelievable. Moustagir looked a real hope on the point of the turn when he beaten it a couple of runs back, but that was just outstanding.
Well, she won the Vinery on this day last year, and she returns 12 months to the day later and wins the big one, the Tancred Stakes. And of course she...
Yeah, it might look like that, but no, it's been a big effort for the whole stable to get a horse like her to settle as well as she's doing, so the riders at home and just people taking it quietly, because she's quite a highly revved horse, and yeah, full credit to James, and yeah, she's obviously
the grand final.
I guess Caulfield Cup would be high on our radar, and even a Melbourne Cup. So let's hope we get weighted as well as some of the other horses from around the world, and they just keep giving the Australian horses a chance, and she'll be there, and she'll be one of them.
Okay, but that's it for her this autumn.
Not sure. If today's race wasn't among the circumstances we're in, I probably would have gone to the Queen Elizabeth. But yeah, who knows? It's tough times at the moment, and I think everybody here today has been so responsible, as have the stable staff for doing a
was won yesterday by Very Elegant. We picked them up. Dancer Terry are about to make that move around the outside to take up the running.
Yeah, it was an exciting race, wasn't it? Especially from this moment on. You know, we all had the favourite mapping, just jog-trotting outside the lead of Angel of Truth. But look, Abdullah made a decision, took off on Dancer Tira. The favourites back in the ruck and had to come wide. At this stage of the day, we were worried about horses getting too wide. But McDonald kept his cool, didn't he? They went out as quicker than what we thought. thought. The race didn't map as like we thought it would, but he's just such an experienced jockey and nothing phases him. Still worrying here when you think the leader's still travelling a bit and you go, hello, what's going on here? But he just gives her a little bit of a niggle up here and she grabs the bit. At one stage on the point of the turn here, and Mustajir on the rail there, I thought, whoa, you're travelling into it pretty well and you've done no work, but gee, she just springs into another gear here, doesn't she? Very elegant. She's looking, well, this Queen Elizabeth's looking one of the hottest Queen Elizabeths I've seen in many, well, since the beginning. It's as good as any Cox Plate. You know, you can leave your Kingston Town and Winks out of there, but this Queen Elizabeth Stakes could be a beauty if she lines up in it as well. Avelius battled on. Mr. G grabbed second there, and obviously the talking point is Hugh Bowman getting into a bit of strife there, which we'll have another look at here. Yeah, it was a great race.
It was a great race, yeah. She was just in a league of her own over that distance, and she's obviously a horse that has been a work in progress for quite some time, and they are most definitely reaping the rewards of riding her patiently and being able to position her in sort of any position that they want to. She can go forward over a shorter trip, she can go back where she went, and the versatility that she's showing is the reason why she's able to win and conserve her energy and win the way that she did yesterday. But yes, the talking point was Hugh Bowman. They feel that he put his hands down and cost Avelius running second. So they've deemed that that has happened and he's actually incurred a suspension. But make your own mind up. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I thought the horse might have been, yeah, maybe just there, and then he picks up again. Geez, you know, touch and go. But look, he's pleaded guilty, so he's agreed to the charge. So I'm not going to sit here and defend him. I thought the horse may have been laying in a little bit, and he's pulled the whip through to the right hand. But maybe just for 2 strides there at the 100-metre mark, that's where the damage may have been done. And then he realises that he's got to do a little bit more. So he's on one rein there, and he's still roaring at him and waving the whip at the horse. Yeah, look, I'm not going to argue. You know, Hughes agreed, so he's got to, you know, do the crime, serve the time. I just want to. I think Carriff is a horse is ticking along okay for a handicap race. He might run well on a race like the Sydney Cup, another great race coming up. But $9 into $6, very elegant for the Queen Elizabeth. 51 into 15 for the Caulfield Cup as well. So that's where she sits in the marketplace.
Yeah, just.
Adib, Tiago Shark, Danon Premium, very elegant. Castelvecchio, Master of Wine, Melody Bell, although she's likely to go to the Doncaster. Shadow Hero, Vow and Declare. It is just a race and a half. The Sydney Cup market after yesterday, how did it change? Well, the Sydney Cup has Young Rascal at the top of the betting remaining unchanged, but we've got a couple of doubtful.
The second Group 1 of the day is race number 7 here at Rosehill Gardens, the Vinery Stud Stakes over 2,000 metres, and it's for the 3-year-old fillies. Our mounting yard is brought to you by favourite, number 1, Fun Star.
Yeah, we go from an outstanding mare to an outstanding filly here. She's got conditions to suit every indication. 2,000 should pose her no issue at all. And with a trouble-free run, she will be hard to beat.
Absolutely. And
she showed great courage, appearing not comfortable on the heavy last start. This is a little bit drier than last time, which is 1 tick. I would have preferred, I think, her on a dry track here, which would make this contest very interesting. But she's still the danger.
Yeah, physically, this is a filly who...
The Vinery Stud Stakes at Rosehill. Let's tackle the marketplace at Wodonga first. Lord Sundown are the favourite, 4 foot, and Subpoenaed is rock solid in the trade at $10. A horse that's always looked like 2,000 would suit.
Yes, she races like 2,000, not a problem, especially on the Rosehill circuit. It's a nice flat track and horses. I don't think she fits.
Shout the Bar. That's who I'm going with on top. I know that there's obviously some really talented types in Funstar and Probably, and they have paraded really well, but so is Shout the Bar, so I'm going to pop her on top. I thought she paraded well, and she's a lovely looking type who seems to be holding her condition in great order. As I just said, Probably and form is concerned, and as, of course, the yard you're seeing.
I think it's a very good race for Chris Waller, this one. 1, 2, 6 and 8. I have to put her on top. She's very short now, $1.70. He's just making all the right decisions. I don't want to put the mock on him here. McDonald, he'll ride this race how he thinks the speed is, and she'll be hard enough.
Fund out. Ready for the Group 1 for the fillies.
Hang on. Clear.
All clear. Racing now. They all jump well with the exception of Facino and Contrition, and Shout the Bar jump best. Hieronymus is taking her straight to the front. Fun Star's poking forward. Probabile's going forward as well early stages. So this is interesting. The two favourites are up running second and third. Then Nudge, Asiago's out deep. From Love Me Quietly, Aspect Ratio, Game of Thorns, then Subpoenaed. Further back to Contrition, down to the rails from Facino. Missile Mantra and Strange Charms last. It's Shout the Bar in front. Fun Star got to second. Asiago still got work to do to find the spot. She's rolling up on the outside, and eventually Asiago will go up and join Shout the Bar. So at this point, James McDonald takes hold on Fun Star. She needs a breather now in third. She's got a 2-length margin on Probabile. Not sure many expected Probabile to be that handy. Nudges there on the fence, and the roughie Love Missile Mantra. They're pulling out starting runs. Contrition gets back, Facino gets back, and Strange Charm is the last one. Interesting race here. Shout the Bar in front from Asiago. Fun Star goes to an outright third, 3 wide, followed by Strange Charm, Love Me Quietly. Now Subpoenaed creeping closer, is right up on the outside of Probabile at this point. Missile Mantra's out very deep, followed by Game of Thorns, Aspect Ratio, 1 off Facino, 3 out from Contrition. Strange Charms last of all. 600 metres to run. Shout the Bar being roused along now from Asiago. Fun Star in third, being cuddled around the turn from Love Me Quietly. Now Probabile's being stoked up right behind a Fun Star, looking to get clear as they straighten up. Shout the Bar in front by 2 on Fun Star. Asiago 2 further back to Probabile, and Subpoenaed running on, and here comes Nudge, Nudge, Nudge right up the inside, making a race of it. Nudge goes to Shout the Bar, is not done with. Then Probabile, Fun Star can't go on. Shout the Bar in front from Probabile and Nudge. Shout the Bar goes on to win the Vinery. Shout the Bar, great front running performance. Beat Probabile and Nudge and Fun Star. Then came Game of Thorns from Contrition. Further back to Aspect Ratio, Asiago, Strange Charm, Facino. Subpoenaed couldn't come on. Further back to Love Me Quietly and Missile Mantra and Shout the Bar. Adam Hieronymus for Waterhouse and Bott.
It has been a Golden Slipper festival full of firsts, and there is another one. That man, Adam Hieronymus, the man they call Hippo, has won his first Group 1. Shout the Bar gives Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott a Group 1 on 3 consecutive Saturdays. They started with the Coolmore. They went then on to the Slipper, and now they take the Vinery Stud Stakes. Shout the Bar beats Probabile and the Waller pair fighting out for third. It's too close to call.
A testing track, and far too good. Probabile, great tactical ride from McAvoy as well to kick up out of the barrier and make Fun Star do that little bit extra work. Fun Star wanted to over race. Nudge has run a bottler there, and she's run third in front of Fun Star, but take nothing away from the winner. She was just very, very good from the front there and pulled out plenty.
Look, obviously just so happy for everyone involved, the team behind us, and the owners have given us so much support. Everyone's worked hard at this period to get the results, and done so more than Adam Hieronymus, and obviously very, very happy for him, with his first Group 1, and he puts in a lot of hard yards, and look, he did a fantastic job on this filly all the way through, but particularly today he kept his cool and got the right run while everyone was sorting their positions behind him.
Tell us the story about Shout the Bar.
They won the Vinery Stud Stakes with Shout the Bar, something that no one in Australia can do at the moment. But this was Adam Hieronymus's moment, his first Group 1.
Yeah, incredible, and I did not realise till I got home how slow they went in this race. She just sizzled home. He's got an uncanny knack, Hieronymus, of just going at the right time before the pack come to him. He always goes about that 6:30, 6:40 mark instead of waiting for the 600, and then he gets the opposition off the bit. And look, they've just sizzled home here. They've run much slower time than the other two 2,000 metre races on the day, and I'm talking seconds. So I didn't realise it at first, but when you get home and have a look at the times and analyse the situation, it was just a gift for her. What a training performance. Anyone else wouldn't try to... The preparation she had, an 1,100 metre race, straight to a mile, straight to 2,000. Only Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott could do that. And she, look, what is she, $26 into $4.50 for the Oaks? Maybe that's a bit of an overreaction. Now, what are we going to say about these favourites? Probably, I thought it was a great tactical ride by McAvoy early when he kicked up underneath the favourite Funstar. Funstar did herself no favours just by not relaxing at the right times of this race when they did go slow. That's right. So maybe she burned a bit of energy just wanting to over-race, which is not usually in a make-up. Nudge was good as far as the Oaks is concerned, I thought. Other than that, full honours with Hippo. He was just far too good for him. He dictated terms to suit himself.
Yeah, 4 Group 3s he's won before yesterday's Group 1. So, and obviously ran second, as we said earlier on in the show, with Prince Fawaz last week. So it was definitely coming and it was knocking on the door. So I'm.
Just a point, though, it wasn't Adam Hieronymus's richest race win because he won the $1.3 million Kosciuszko on Bell Flyer. That race was worth $500,000. Now, there's the Oaks market. Funstar favourite, shout the bar, right into $4.50, firm dramatically. In the Coolmore Legacy, Funstar is a $4.50 favourite and Probabile is, I think, $5. So, Duff, what do you think Waller will do with Funstar? Come back to the mile Coolmore Legacy or go to the Oaks?
I don't know. Hardly any guide yesterday with that sit sprint affair, but he's not.
The $3.90 favourite here over Cascadian at 6, Dealmaker at 8, Desert Lord at 9, Something Fast sitting on the double figure line there at $10. In live pitches, horses are just entering the mounting yard at Rosehill Gardens.
Just crucial. So Dealmaker on top, Cascadian to Danger, Star of the Seas and Obvious, and Something Fast perhaps next.
And Brass like Star of the Seas, we'll hear from him. Other side of
4 and 10. I want to be with Dealmaker still. I'm just hoping he doesn't get back too far in the ruck here. But if he can be within a couple of lengths of him on the turn here, I think he's awfully hard to hold out. I think there's a bit of pressure up front here, which should suit him. Star of the Seas was terrific first up. We know he handles all conditions. Galwar, I agree, looks good. Should be behind that main pack, but hopefully getting some cover at the same time. So a really competitive finish to the day. You know, you could mark this.
Ready now. And they're racing, and Cuba anticipated the start well wide out. Mask of Time's going with it, and they run 1-2 in the early stages. Desert Lord's poking through along the rails, is going to try and hold the pair of them out here. So Desert Lord went up to join Mask of Time, and this put Cuba 3 wide now. Galo shops out very deep. Something Fast parks behind, and Rainbow Thief in that clump as well. And I Am Superman's in the clump. So it's Desert Lord in front, go to the first bend. Cuba up to second. Galo shops third on the outside of Mask of Time. I Am Superman next from Something Fast. Rainbow Thief, a gap back in the field to Gulwar in the white hat, who just shades Dealmaker. Then came Star of the Seas, 2 further back to Morris Cascadian, and Master of Arts is the last one. So Desert Lord was able to go through and hold the lead. Out by a length on Cuba. Then Mask of Time, Gallows shop out 3 wide. Further back to Rainbow Thief, being hard ridden coming to the turn. I Am Superman the outside. Something Fast travels on the fence. Further back then to Gulwar. Star of Seas pushed out deep from Dealmaker, all cluttered up, and Cascadian as they straighten up, and Desert Lord, where most of the winners have been coming from. 5 off the fence leads from Mask of Time. They're a good gap in front of the rest. Gulwar's making ground. Desert Lord coming back on Mask of Time. Now Tom Marquand gets to work on Mask of Time. Went up to Desert Lord. Cascadian, he's charging. Is today. Mask of Time runs out. Cascadian joins him. Got him, I'd say. Photo finish. I think Cascadian bobbed in the last bound to get Mask of Time. It's a photo. Gulwar third, I'd say, in front of Rainbow Thief, then Dealmaker, Desert Lord. Further back to Morris, I Am Superman, Something Fast, Cuba, Gallo, Shop Star of Seas, Master of Arts. He's done it.
Yes, Cascadian, the big baldy face of Cascadian, has put that nose out on the line to get up and beat Mask of Time. Very few times you'll see this carnival Marquand out-bobbed in a finish, but he does so today with James McDonald getting the upper hand. Cascadian, Mask of Time, Gulwar, and then Rainbow Thief. 3, 6, 4, 10.
He's guaranteed a start, and he doesn't cop a penalty for this win.
Yeah, he's $26 into 15 now. He finally put it together. Had work to do from the draw, but boy, he did the job well, McDonald, didn't he? He knew where the fine line was, how wide he could come. He ducked and weaved his way through the pack here, and he coached this horse to victory. He's got a few convictions, but he finally puts it together. Muscat Time did all the work, and he stuck on well. Galwar was honest with conditions to suit there. Can't say much about the others. Rainbow Thief, he's a lightly raced horse with a bit of talent, that Victorian, and Morris was good out wide there, and forget the favourite went around. He missed the start and ended up in no man's land, Star of the Seas.
Yeah, as I said, there's just an array of horses that you've just got to forget about going forward.
And Fierce Impact just had took a little bit longer to recover than what Matthew Smith thought, so he's also likely to go to the All-Age Stakes as well. Cascadian 26 into 15. Homesman's a $15 chance, and 50 Stars an $11 chance. Now, on a day when Wales, the championships at this stage are going ahead, but there have been prize money cuts, and I'll read from the statement. Group 1s have been halved. So the Doncaster Mile halved to 1.5. The TJ 1.25. The Derby down from 2 million to 1 million. The English Sires down from 1 million to 500,000. The Country Championships, a 20% reduction, down 100,000 from 500 to 400,000. The Group 3, Group 2, the listed races, they remain unchanged. Now, the Queen Elizabeth was 4 million, is now 2, and so on. The Sydney Cup, the Oaks, the Coolmore Legacy, the Arrowfield Sprint. The provincial champion has to be maintained across the board around the state.
I think we've survived pretty well. It's good governance. It was obvious we had to slash. We can't be handing out prize money like that with all the, like I said, the pubs, the clubs, the tabs shut down. We can't. Our